Creativity is an addiction. It controls you. Everything you do, good mood, bad mood, in between mood, totally silenced. Creativity, it's an addiction. So you've got to treat it as such. You've got to learn to listen to it, and you've got to learn to get control of it. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. The sounds we make before we share a thought. I wish I could hear what I really am feeling before I did share a thought. No, that's not a good place to be. Yesterday was one of those days where I allowed my thoughts to take over me. And I started to tune people that support me completely out. I didn't want to have anything to do with another human being because my thoughts were louder than my presentation. When the body decides it's not having an equal say in the daily expectations. I don't know about you, but I talk with more people about the challenges that everybody is facing during this day of need to grow beyond COVID-19. The body itself is reacting. I physically see it on the front lines. The mind is having a difficult time understanding other people's divisions. They know the job, but they can't find the fuel to bring the product forward. There's a huge issue here that nobody is talking about. It's not the person, it's the situation and all that's been gathered over the past 19 months. You see, the mind has been given permission to step away, and it did so, and it learned how to do it during March of 2020 when the lockdown started. Getting it to be reactivated is a process in the progress, and it needs leadership. But who has earned that label? Most American businesses didn't promote actual decision makers. It was always just another body. The mind was left at the door because those on top of the pyramid didn't feel a need to be challenged by the growth of a changing society or a new way to do things. They aren't interested in your personal experience. They just need you to sit in the chair and do as they say with very little pay. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I've been doing this since July of 1994. Holy God, that's a lot of writing. Tell me about it. But you know, when you sit down and think about it, it's really not. When you compare it to the trees of the world or the rocks, the age of the nation, whatever, it's really not. 27 years is not even a mustard seed. This is The Daily Mess. At 59, I'm struggling with this because it has changed. And why has it changed? I don't know, except for maybe I had the wrong definition when I was in my 30s, maybe when I was in my 20s. Am I a curmudgeon? The dictionary defines it as a bad-tempered person. Do you know what they call a female curmudgeon? A hag. God. Oh, I hate that word. A hag? Really? Neither definition truly paints a beautiful portrait, and yet in my creative soul, it's the Andy Rooneys of the world that keep the finger on offering proper direction. I had the blessed opportunity to know Robert D. Rayford on the John Boy and Billy National Network. They labeled him as a curmudgeon. He didn't seem dark, depressed, and dislocated. I'd say his views were that of being wise. Why wasn't Rush Limbaugh ever put into the category of being a curmudgeon? I mean, you talk about a guy that bitched about everything. He always had something to complain about. And what about Chris Cuomo over there on CNN? Is he too young to be a curmudgeon? Because if you listen to him daily, who you are at the beginning of the show is not going to be the same person at the end of the show. The dude has a way of just totally taking your mind to different places. Is that what a curmudgeon is? No, not according to the dictionary. They said it's a bad-tempered person. And if you're female, you're a hag. Oh, my God. I always wanted to be Andy Rooney, that type of journalist, not afraid to speak about what you're aware of in this world that really is prepared to have a leader like that. We don't have news departments anymore. They don't have a headline followed by a news story. What we've got is wall-to-wall opinions. Whew. But are they curmudgeons? Is there a certain age group that you have to be when you have that opinion? A bad-tempered person. And here's a part that I've left out, is that if you look it up on dictionary.com, you can go to webstersdictionary.com, it'll say the same thing. Usually, an old man is what they say. And I started this off by saying, at 59, I'm not going to call myself an old man. I'm going to walk the way that I was shown when I was doing a movie promotion at an assisted living place. I said, what are you guys listening to? Bruno Mars? Nicki Minaj? What, Ed Sheeran? What's going on in here? And the woman quickly corrected me. You have to understand. The mind doesn't age. Only the body does. These people in here feel like they're still 16 years old. Now that I'll agree with. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.